through the regular season, and the WPBL is still bringing the heat here in Springfield, Illinois. When you have one of the best pitchers in the world in the house bringing the vibes, you know it's going to be a good time. The LA Queens and the New York Heights meet once again between the lines here in the inaugural season. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Robin Roberts Stadium. I'm Jenna Becerra. The Heights and the Queens meet yet again in what has been a drama-filled series so far this season. AJ Andrews joins me down on the field. And AJ, they split the first two games, and it was comebacks, extra innings, and clutch hits.
It's been nothing but exciting baseball between the Heights and the Queens. You talked about comeback baseball first. It was the Queens to do it in game one, and then the Heights came back and did in game two. And today's game is going to be a big game between the two of them because whoever wins is going to etch their way into #1 spot. If the Queens win, they take the #1 over the Firebells. If the Heights win, it makes it a three-way tie between the Firebells, the Queens, and the Heights.
It was the comeback Queens the first time around, but then the tables turned and New York got it done. It started with a 4-run 5th inning. Yonatani with the RBI double at the top of the order. Benitez right after her with the RBI single to add to it. And then O'Sullivan followed after that, the RBI single of her own. It was back-to-back-to-back production to get the ball game back within reach for the Heights. And then in extras, O'Sullivan strikes again. The go-ahead RBI, it would ultimately be the game winner and a 2-hit day for her. She has been great on both sides of the ball for New York.
Yeah, we saw what Claire can do at the plate. Now we're going to see also what she does on the mound. She's pitched 9 innings this season, only 3 earned runs. And then we talk about Sato also for the mound for the Queens. She had 0 earned runs, even though she did get the loss against the Heights in the last game. I talked to Sato before the game via Google Translate, and she told me she feels really good today. She went back and looked at film and knows exactly what she has to do. Her mental and her physical body feels like it's at most at sync as it's ever been. She told me that today she really wants to focus on executing her pitches as well as creating a good tempo on the mound so there's a good flow for the team.
And both of these teams have also shored up the back end of their bullpen as well. They have the arms on the mound, and they have it when it comes to closing time. LA's Maggie Meidlinger, New York managed to scratch out the win against her on Saturday, but she bounced back with a 1-2-3 inning to close out the win against Boston. Just 4 earned runs she's allowed in just over 12 innings pitched. But New York's Jada Lee, on the other hand, the starter turned closer, settling into her role. Nearly 4 innings of scoreless baseball, just 1 hit, and she struck out a league-high single appearance record with 6 batters that she fanned. She's been mowing down the hitters, and it has been so effective for the Heights. But between these two, will the Queens hang on to their throne, or will New York reach new heights in the standings? We'll find out on the field next.
Space number 5, London Studer.
Welcome back, all you amazing WPBL fans. We're set for another day of women's pro baseball. It is Game 3 between the Heights and the Queens. I'm AJ Andrews, and I'm joined by the Heights utility player, Kira Izumi. Now, one fun fact about Kira is that she is smarter than everyone, okay? She just landed today because she's studying at USC mechanical engineering. I imagine there's a lot of physics involved with mechanical engineering. How does that help, or does it help at all within baseball?
Yeah, I mean, I think about like logically like hitting the ball, like the physics of a curveball. My high school physics teacher gave me like a book, The Physics of Baseball, one of my favorites of all time. But when I'm out here, it's mostly just play. I don't really think about it.
What's harder, baseball or mechanical engineering?
Probably mechanical engineering.
She said, but it was close. It was close. Well, when it comes down to the Heights and the Queens, you guys have split 2 games. The Heights had a comeback win. You guys had a comeback win for Game 2. What is the mentality going into this Game 3 to try to come on top?
Yeah, we're really building off that momentum that we've had these past 3 games. I think our team's really starting to gel, really starting to come together, and really starting to play to our full potential. So when we're at our best, nobody can beat us.
What was the energy like in the clubhouse after winning in the 8th inning?
That was huge. That was one of our best wins yet, and it was a great team game. Everybody was hyped. Lots of barking going on.
Lots of barking. Elodie Chimera showed us how the Heights do that, but what Kira's about to show us, we talk about hand-eye coordination, what makes teams great, what makes batters great, it's that focus. And one thing Kira does to sharpen the focus is juggling. So Kira's gonna take it away as we head into Game 3 between the Heights and the Queens. I'm gonna practice and learn this later. Kira, as exciting as this is, Game 3 is gonna be even more exciting. It's coming up next after the break.
Back at it here in the WPBL. The home run race is still on. Plenty of home run hitters here on the field in this one. Some of them on Eric Young's team, the LA Queens. They're 1-1 against the Heights so far this season, but they are 6-5 overall, looking to stay on top of the leaderboard when it comes to wins. And tonight's starting lineup for the Queens is presented by Horace Mann. And you take a look at the leadoff spot, Samaria Benitez quietly leading the team in hits and hitting over 400.
Samaria Benitez, she's been getting it done offensively and defensively. She's been that spark plug. We talk about the aggressiveness that the Queens want to have when they start each game, and she's a perfect person to do it, looking to do it today in Game 3 against the Heights.
Isabella Villarreal in that 5 spot as well, and they're going to be going up against the starter, Claire O'Sullivan. She's been a solid arm for the Heights. She's tied for second in the league with a couple wins under her belt and in the top 5 in ERA. Over 10 innings pitched so far this season.
Claire Sullivan, we talked about how she's played 10 innings pitched, but she's only given up 3 earned runs. She is someone that is really going to be a focus for the Heights to get it done. Looking for her to go many innings this game so the Heights can have a chance to win.
And the defense behind O'Sullivan looks like this. Danae Benitez continues to hold it down behind the dish. But up the middle, you got Psyche at short and Willen at second. That'll be an area to keep our eyes on for the infield.
The Heights defense is definitely something that you want to keep your eyes on. They've made multiple great plays this season. Looking to do it again today in Game 3.
London Studer over at first base as well. She's back in the infield, and there she is, Psyche. Part of the first ever trade here in the WPBL, coming over from the Queens roster. Getting the start at shortstop now with their new squad in the Heights. There she is, Benitez leading things off for the Queens. Team high 14 hits with that .452 batting average. First pitch in for a strike from O'Sullivan. Benitez got a 5-game hit streak going. It's a little further inside. 3 for 4 against the Hunters just yesterday with an RBI and a couple of runs scored. Two-one. Fouls that off on a line down the right side. Benitez, 23 years old, birthday coming up soon, out of Mexico. 11th pick of the second round of the draft for the WPBL. And the 2-2. Gets a piece to stay alive.
Manager Eric Young talked to me a little bit about the mentality for the Queens going into these next few games of regular season, and it is to play like every game is a playoff game. They're preparing for playoffs sooner rather than later, and so right now want to look things deep. That ball foul. Take good pitches and be aggressive at the plate.
A solid at bat so far for Benitez to follow those instructions. And stepping out of the box there. Sophia Liu, the home plate umpire today. Joellen Polano over on the bases. That's your crew today. Starting off with the payoff pitch here to the first batter. That is wide, and Benitez with a solid appearance at the plate. Stays patient to draw the walk and get the leadoff runner aboard.
A walk's as good as a hit. We're going to talk about momentum, wanting to get runners on base for the Queens. We talked about it earlier, but every time they score in 4 or more innings as a team, those are the games that they win. Looking to start things early, and Benitez getting on first is the start they want.
Last time out, the win, they had 7 walks and a stolen base. That was against the Hunters. Prior to that, only 1 walk, no stolen bases in the loss to the Heights. So that aggressiveness, getting the base runners on, and being aggressive on the base path, going to be a key.
And right now, the key is also looking down. O'Sullivan doing a really good job of keeping the pitches low, really wanting to change the eyesight, because when you do that, it really forces the batter to have to make quick adjustments. For her, she's keeping that ball as low as can be, forcing the Queen batters to have to go down and dig it up and hit that line drive. What she's looking to is hoping that they pop it in the air.
Keeping it down in the zone to one of the home run hitters on the Queens. It's 0-2 to Ashton Lansdale. On a rope out to center field. An 0-2 base hit for the captain, and the Queens are cooking.
The captain, Ashton Lansdale, stays back on this ball. Look at how evenly her weight is distributed to be able to go down on that ball. Line drive, extends through it perfectly to sends one to center field. Lansdale got the team together before the game, and she said, let's go out, have some fun. She said, slay, period. Do Queens what Queens do. She's leading by example right now.
Leading in multiple categories, too, for her team, as is Jamie McKay stepping in. Team high 5 home runs with 15 RBIs this season. Fisted. The jam job, that'll be lightly on the ground to the right side. The out at first is recorded, but both runners advance.
Yeah, while that may not feel like a good outing, she got the job done. Advancing 2 runners into scoring position right now for Yuri Shimano, who's had a hot bat as of late.
Productive out for McKay. And As you mentioned, AJ Shimano off to a good start, hitting over 400 early on in her WPBL ABs. Good stop by Benitez to keep that ball in front. Captain will switch out the ball. We talked about the home run race. Well, Benitez right there at the top with Kelsey Whitmore, 8 apiece. But calling pitches on the other side right now with her battery mate O'Sullivan. Out to left, line drive. And caught by Eccles. Coming in to score, diving head first. Benitez puts LA on the board with the sac fly. Shimano off the bat.
Shimano also getting a job done. Does a really good job of hitting the ball where it's pitched on the outside part of the plate. She waits for it, lets that ball get deep and unleashes. A line drive to left field. Eccles throws it in. It's a great relay to her to Zettelmoyer down to the plate to Benitez, but not in time as Benitez slides in safely.
Another productive out for the Queens from Shimano, and Lansdell also advancing to third base as Isabella Villarreal steps in. And she kept it real with you, AJ, when you chatted with her post-game recently.
Oh, did she? She said their focus right now is just to get things done. They know how good of a team that they are, but lately some have been playing a little bit complacently, and that's why manager EY was talking about getting back into that playoff mentality. Seasons get long, things happen, but the focus is to make sure that at the end they're in the championship series.
It just misses from O'Sullivan. Villarreal, the 5th pick in the 2nd round of the draft out of Newport, Michigan. .625 on-base percentage coming into today. 1-2 pitch, lifted and cranked foul.
Villarreal early inside pitch is what you want to do on it. Turn on it. She just got there a little too quickly. Quick hands through the zone. Throws that ball foul.
1-2 again. Called strike 3 on the corner. O'Sullivan gets out of it and strands the runner, but the first run comes across. Shimano with the sac fly, 1-0 LA. The Queens draw first blood in the top of the 1st inning. They're up 1-0 over the Heights. And this is tonight's starting lineup for the Heights, presented by Horace Mann. You got Yonatani in that top spot with Benitez right behind her. That 1-2 punch has been lethal.
Extremely lethal. Yonatani, she's tied for the league lead with 6 doubles, tied for 2nd in runs scored, and then Danae Benitez still leads in almost every significant offensive category, and she had 3 hits last game against the Queens.
They'll be going up against one of the best pitchers in the world in Ayami Sato. She has started now. This will be the 3rd straight time. Every single appearance against the Heights, she has been on the mound to start it off.
Sato, someone that really wants to deliver for her team. When she talked to me earlier, talked about how she doesn't feel like her role is just about throwing good pitches, but she wants to make sure she has that good tempo. She wants to create a good momentum for the team. She believes it all starts with her, and she wants to make sure that it finishes with her as well today.
Going up against Natsuki Yonatani. Very familiar with each other as that's fouled out of play. Yonatani was 1 for 5 with a double last time, going up against the Queens. Had an RBI, scored a run, also laid down a sac bunt. Lifts this into center, going back for it, and goodbye! Natsuki Yonatani ties the ball game and lifts New York to new heights. First long ball of the season for the leadoff.
And Yonatani, as she always does, has the biggest smile as she's rounding the bases. We talked to her about wanting to stay level, using her body, using her lower body to really get through that ball. She does just that and sends it over the wall. And she's got the Timbs wrapped around her neck in true New York style to represent her first home run of the season.
The Heights answer immediately. Yonatani all smiles, and here's another home run hitter for the Heights, to say the least. Benitez with the big cut for strike 1. Yonatani's been so productive this year. Hard to believe that was her first long ball.
I feel so many balls have hit the wall with her, so I'm surprised as well. Look at that, how she hovers that leg kick, talking about getting in her back hip so she can create as much power as possible. As soon as she lands that foot down, that's when her back hip explodes, and that is how you see that ball go over the fence, or her first home run.
Talk about setting the tone as a leadoff. Yonatani doing her job. Benitez has been doing her job offensively all season long, leading the league in multiple offensive categories. Swings on the 1-2, and Sato strikes back with the punch out.
That's a good response from Sato, talking about controlling what she can control, creating the tempo that she wants to create. A ball, ooh, that just cuts right down. Spin, it was right under Benitez's bat. Sato getting back to how she feels and creating the tempo she wants.
This is what the defense looks like behind her. Maggie Fox behind the dish, mostly seen McKay with her as the battery mate, and a new look in the outfield.
Yeah, we got Amira Hondras in center field. She told me that she's played center field quite a bit before and that she's excited for the opportunity. She's truly, earlier today, she was also throwing some pitches in the bullpen. So she's a real utility, looking to get as many looks as she can. She told manager Eric Young that she feels like she can go anywhere, to put her anywhere, wherever the team needs me. I'm ready to do a job.
That's been a theme with the Queens. Versatility through the roof, and Sato coming back quickly with the 0-2 count here to London Studer as well. Lays off the waist. Studer was 1 for 4, a couple of RBIs and a walk last time out against the Queens. 8-7 victory in extra innings for the Heights. The 2-2. Line drive into right field. Roche out there and right, she'll get it in, and it's a base hit for Studer.
London Studer goes down on this ball. She's able to turn on the pitch on the inside part of the plate. Gets it over to right field. I like how the way she was able to wait on that ball. Sometimes when balls are inside, you really want to turn on it too quickly. It looked like she was prepared for that, waited for the pitch she wanted, and executed.
1 on with 1 out for the DH, Kylie Lawners. Sato delivers the first pitch strike. Lawners hitting over 300. She's second on the team with 9 RBIs. Also got 3 doubles. Tied for a league high with 4 hit by pitch. As the pickoff at first, not in time. Big cut, well foul, out of play. Lawners, one of the veterans in this league and leading the way when it comes to her hard hit rate. So 80 miles per hour is the threshold of exit velocity off the bat. That's considered a hard hit. And this a hard hit right here, going back into left. And see you later. Right on cue, Kylie Lawners sends that one out of here. The 2-run shot. And New York has the lead.
What a response for the Heights. 2 long balls in the first inning. Kylie Lawners getting to wear those Tims as well.
Neither coming off the bat of Danae Benitez. She's got the supporting cast around her. Yonatani doing it for the first time, and Lawners adds to the tally. All smiles as well.
That was a shot. That was a shot for Lawners.
3-1 lead for the Heights. Zettel Moyer. And a first pitch strike. Sato's actually been pretty consistent getting ahead on the first pitch to hitters.
One thing Sato does, she's gonna hit her spots. And while the Heights seem to have picked up on her quite a bit, she does mixes her pitches really, really well.
Already 0-2 here to Zettel Moyer. Just off the plate, great spot. A little bit elevated.
Yeah, elevate and celebrate, Kylie Lawners. This pitch looked like it was a little bit on the outside, a little more outer half, but she was able to extend her barrel through the zone the way that she was, the perfect extension to drive that ball a long way.
Right on the corner. Turn the K around. Sato with her second one. She has responded with a strikeout after each home run this inning. 2 down.
Another ball that cuts low in the zone. Sato just needing to get back to the tempo that she wants to establish. Looking to get this third out.
Nice frame by Fox back there. And the first pitch on the outside corner there to Emi Saiki. Off to a fantastic start. And 500. Nobody on with 2 outs for her. Flared into center. That's going to fall for the base hit. So Saiki continues her hot start here in the WPBL. Runner aboard now at first with 2 outs. Number 7 hitter in the lineup stepping in, that's Claire Eccles.
Talked about Sato's response after each home run with a strikeout, but it seems like the Heights' response after every strikeout is a hit.
Great point. 4 hits already off of Sato so far here in the first. 2, of course, the long ball, but a couple of singles as well. Turning on it, gets jammed over at first. Edwards takes it herself, and that will do it. But the Heights respond immediately. Not once, but twice they leave the yard for the 3-1 lead over the Queens.
Tonight we have a very special performance for you all the way from Rivertown High School. It's the Rivertown Dance Team.
An eventful first inning, the Queens striking first with 1 across, but then the Heights dancing across home plate a couple of times to take the lead 3-1. On top of the second inning here, O'Sullivan back out on the mound for the Heights. She will face 6, 7, 8 due up here. Sarah Edwards to lead things off. Double-digit RBIs for her on the year. And one of 10 players hitting over 300 on this roster for the Queens. Bayshore, New York native, going up against the New York team here in the WPBL. Sac fly from Shimano brought that run across for the Queens. Other than that, O'Sullivan off to a solid start. Two one. Edwards going deep in the count, 3-1.
What do you think O'Sullivan's plan is against these Queen batters?
I think to the lefties, it's attacking the zone, right? She's just been all around it right there. She issues the walk to Edwards. But when she's been successful, she's gotten ahead early in the count and really just went after hitters, not afraid to paint the corners. What do you think, AJ?
I agree with that. Painting the corner, to me, it seems like she's really trying to work low in the zone. I don't feel like we've seen many pitches up in the zone, even really belt high.
Jam job. That'll land in front of second base, and they'll turn 2. New York with the double play, and they are in a groove.
This ball softly to Willis. She tosses it over to Psyche, and then bang, a bang with the split from Studer at first base. Able to get the double play for the Heights. The way in which they were, I feel like it was so seamless. Everything was so smooth. 2 outs already in the second inning.
Smooth like butter, we said. Keep an eye on that middle infield. They're going to work. As is Hondras. First pitch she sees, a base hit into left, opposite way.
Just waits on this pitch on the outside part of the plate. Remember, Amira did hit in the tying run for the Queens in the first appearance against the Heights. So she's familiar with them. I feel like she feels really comfortable. She told me she felt really comfortable going up against this team and delivers right there for the first hit of this inning.
2 outs, so what? She's on base for Maggie Fox. Taking off. Hondras down to second. Throw on the money. And mowed down by Danae Benitez. The 6th runner she's caught stealing to lead the league, and the Heights still up 3-1 over the Queens.
all over the world. As a founding partner of the Women's Pro Baseball League, they're honored to celebrate this historic return and salute the athletes inspiring generations to come. Learn more about their current troops at Libya.com. We'd like to take a moment to thank our official partners with the WPBL who make all of this historic magic happen. Easton Rawlings, HSHS Children's Hospital, Impact Performance Apparel, Marucci, Oakley, the YMCA, and Visit Springfield. Visit Springfield welcomes you to the heart of Route 66, the home to more Abraham Lincoln sites than anywhere in the world, and now, proud home of the inaugural Women's Pro Baseball League season. Check out all there is to see, do, eat, and explore. Visit SpringfieldIllinois.com.
Fans here in Robin Roberts Stadium to watch some WPBL because there's nowhere better to be. WPBL fans, get your playoff tickets today. All 4 teams advance to the playoffs. There will be 2 best-of-3 semifinals, followed by a best-of-5 WPBL championship at Robin Roberts Stadium. Go to www.womensprobaseballleague.com/tickets. You do not want to miss this. First pitch from Sato delivered to Willen. It is 8-9-1 due up here for the Heights. Doesn't get much better than what we saw from them defensively. Double play, runner caught stealing. Now they're picking up the bats once more, but Sato, once again, jumping ahead quickly, 0-2.
Yeah, the Heights being able to have the defense that they're able to have, they're definitely going to need it because when it comes to the Queens, they're a team that likes to score. They put the pressure on. They score multiple innings, but when you have such good defense as well as executing offensively, that's a team that's very, very hard to beat. And the Heights starting off very strong this first half of the game.
Hard on the ground. Lansdale back at third base. Cuts it off, makes the throw over to first. And a nifty play for 1 down. Seen Ashton Lansdale out in right field the past couple of ball games. She's back over there at the hot corner taking care of business.
Doing it on both sides of the field, whether it's on the left side or the right side, which are two very different looks. She's comfortable on both sides and able to execute well.
Now Suzu Narasaki, also part of that trade between the Queens and the Heights. Swings through strike 2 there from Sato. Narasaki, Saiki making their way to the Heights. Diana Ibarra making her way to the Queens. 0-2. Softly to the left side. On the run, Shimano. Over to first, gets past Edwards. And because that ball went out of play, she will be awarded second base. So Narasaki gets aboard with the single and already in scoring position.
Shimano had a tough play with that one.
Yonatani did this last time up. It was a solo shot at the time to lead things off for the Heights. Now she's got a runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the second with just one out. Sato in with the strike. That's on the ground over to Lansdell. Waits on that hop nicely. Throw to first. Might have been off the bag, and then advancing to third was Narasaki. Looks like everybody's safe.
Yeah, I think Sarah Edwards thought that she had her foot on the bag at that part because she didn't go back to try to tag first. She reaches over, the ball is over to the left for Lansdale. She gets it, fires it off to first. And Sarah Edwards quickly trying to make that play at third to get the out. But ultimately, umpire said she was off the bag. Both runners safe at first and third.
That unfolded right in front of you, AJ.
Literally right in front of me over here, first base side.
So runners at the corners here now for Danae Benitez. Struck out swinging the first time against Sato. It's a piece there.
Jenna, over at first base, it looked like Edwards kind of got crossed up. Her right leg was trying to touch the bag instead of her left leg to give her more reach. Is there anything you would have done in that scenario in order to get the out and then make that throw to third?
It's a great question, and Yonatani on cue, taking off for second base there. I think as a first baseman, you don't set your feet and make that stretch and put one on the base and one out in front until you see where the throw is going. You have to read that first. So I think for her, she might have done it a little bit too soon. That'll get Benitez in the back. But also, AJ, with your question, if you have to come off the bag, you have to come off the bag. You don't want that ball to get past you. That's just more bases for the runners.
Do you think she had time to tag first? To me, it looked like she came off and that she would have had time, but that's why I thought that she originally thought she got the out, because she just immediately fired off to third.
Yeah, I think you have to take it one out at a time, right? To your point, it's like, all right, get the out that's in front of you before you look ahead, especially because she wasn't taking off to home. She was only taking off to third. And now it's bases loaded for London Studer. Had a base hit last time, came around to score. Through the right side, that's gonna bring in one. Could it bring in a second? Being waved around and sliding in safely. Narasaki, Yonatani, both come in, and Studer with the 2 RBI single.
The inside part of the plate is what Studer loves to dominate. Another pitch right where she likes it. She turns on it, is able to push it through on the right side, all the way to right field to Roche. And Roche did a good job of trying to get to the relay, but it was not in time to get the speedy Yonatani. The Heights getting the jobs done. Already 6 runs in the second inning.
Taken off right away. Studer puts herself in scoring position as well. Now there's 2 runners in scoring position for Kylie Lahners. She hit that 2-run shot last time. Now 2 ducks on the pond. Just foul left field line. A 5-1 lead for the Heights over the Queens. 3 runs in the first. They've already brought in 2 here in the second. And in a good position with a couple of more in scoring position. And Eric Young's going to come out, not only talk to his battery, but the entire infield.
Yeah, really focusing on right now, slowing things down. The tempo is what is important for this Queens team. One thing that they've been really trying to focus on is limiting the errors as well as the big innings for their opponents. And they are trying to work right now. There's one out to get out of this inning without too much damage. For the Queens, a team that likes to come back, they're really good at putting the pressure on. They have to limit the pressure when they're on defense in order to do so.
Lahners knows what it's like to take advantage with runners on base. Did it last time. One was on, and she brought in two with the long ball. In that cleanup position and doing her job beautifully. Now she'll got to shorten up. A good take from Kylie Lahners.
The thing to note also with Sato is her being one of the best pitchers in women's pro baseball and women's baseball in general. Gold medals, 16 years, but also the Heights have seen her 3 times now. And being able to have that ability to see all of her pitches for multiple different innings, you're able to make those adjustments quickly. And so I think that's what we're seeing right now in Game 3 with the Heights, as this is a third start between them. And the Heights are all over it, knowing what their plan is and executing it very well.
Tough first outing. Back on the 22nd, she threw nearly 5 innings. Only gave up 4 hits, and the 4 runs scored off of her were not earned. She did have a few strikeouts, just 1 walk. But they were able to string it together and put pressure on the defense, capitalizing on some mistakes. Queens made 3 errors in that ball game.
Yeah, because you got to think, when you face the same pitcher 3 different times, you remember the exact sequence, you remember your at-bats against them, you know which pitches they throw primarily to you or most often to you. And so that's the pitch that you're looking for. And the Heights seem to have come up with a plan, and their approach is to stick with one pitch, and they are turning on it and executing every time that pitch comes. The aggressiveness and being able to stay through the ball. I feel like everybody has hit the ball where it's pitched and sent the ball a long way.
Lahners doing her best to battle here with 2 strikes. Rocky Henley's team 5-5 on the season so far. 1-2, waits on it. Flared into left, that's gonna fall. Benitez comes in to score. Wheeling around is Studer, and a 2 RBI single for Kylie Lahners. 4 ribbies on the day.
This looked like it was a curveball that just sat a little bit too high. Kylie Lahners able to get on top of it. Not too much power behind it, but just enough to get it out of the infield and score 2 runs for the Heights.
Back-to-back crooked numbers, 3 in the first, now 4 in the second. Still just the 1 out. Now with Lahners over at first. And checking in here, the coaching staff, that's Pete Romero, alongside Emma Charlesworth-Sealer, having a chat with the base umpire, Joellen Polano. Everybody back in position, and now Alyssa Zettel-Moyer stepping in, struck out back in the first. First pitch she sees, lines it over to second base. It's dropped by Benitez, but they'll get the force at second. It would look like it was intentional. Trying to turn 2. Some baseball IQ baked into that. But Eric Young is sprinting out.
The umpire is going to call both of them safe, thinking that it was intentional, Benitez dropping that ball.
Not an infield fly situation there. So really, again, the baseball IQ to know, okay, we have the opportunity to turn 2 here and get out of this inning.
Ball to Benitez. She dropped to toss it over to Shimano. Shimano gets the out over at first base. Kylie Lawners feels stuck, doesn't know what to do in this situation. Great play by Benitez, but only going to get 1 out of it.
So they'll call the runner at first out, and Lawners remains over at second. Well inside. Lawners takes off for third. A little bit of shift in energy here after that one.
Tricky, tricky.
Sato finds his own there against Psyche. Psyche with the single last time up. Right back up the middle through the wickets. And the RBI single for Psyche makes it a 7-run lead for the Heights over the Queens.
Pitch right in between the legs of Sato. Psyche able to drive that ball up the middle, stays back on it. Bringing another run for the Heights.
Claire Eccles. First pitch, fouling it off. Edwards runs out of room in foul territory. Fans are fired up there to get a foul ball. I would be too.
You guys can't hear her, but she's saying, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." Yes, ma'am, you did it.
Makes the trip to Springfield.
She's still saying it. Love that.
Got her popcorn too. She's ready. The Heights have batted around here in the second with Eccles up. Willen on deck led off this inning. In the 0-2. Gets the swinging strike. And that will do it, but 5 more runs come across for the Heights. A 7-run lead over the Queens heading to the third.
Stay up to date with the latest WPBL news. It's the best way to do it. Countdown to game time, game day programs, tickets, merch, and so much more. Grab your phone, scan the QR code, and join all the WPBL fun. Baseball fans, what do you guys appreciate for New York coming in to play third base and batting in the front box? Number 1, Kira is
Well, the first 2 innings between the Queens and the Heights has lived up to the drama we've seen so far in this series. 8-1, New York over LA. And we welcome into the booth a special guest, one of the stars of the Boston Hunters, Lexi Hastings. Lexi, thank you for joining. We're super pumped to have you.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
What is it like just being able to watch baseball, knowing that obviously you're out there competing hard whenever your team's between the lines?
Yeah, I mean, I got up here and I was like, I don't know if I want to laugh or cry because I haven't seen the game from this perspective. So I'm just like, this is not somewhere I thought I would be a year ago. So I'm just really excited, and I think I can speak for a lot of the girls that we're just so grateful.
What has that journey been like for you to get to this point in the WPBL?
Yeah, I mean, I come from a softball background, so grew up playing sports in my early childhood and transitioned to team sports around 9 years old, and then fell in love with softball and playing in the dirt. So I was really fortunate to receive a scholarship to play collegiately at the University of Connecticut and did all 4 years there. Had an amazing mid-major experience. Got to close it out with a Big East championship, one of my proudest and highlighted moments during that 4 years, and saw that the WPBL was having open tryouts. I knew I hadn't reached my full potential athletically. I really wanted to continue to play professionally. Coming from a mid-major, I didn't know what that looked like going into the softball world. So I knew if I could just show my talent and have an opportunity to do that, then, oh, nice hit.
That's deeper.
She tracked that down well.
Caught in center field, 1 down. Fox is retired.
So yeah, accidentally signed up for my first baseball tournament in my backyard back in North Carolina. Met a scout there with the WPBL, kind of solidified that I was going to go to tryout. Actually, Danae came up to me at that tournament and was like, hey, you should really consider it. My mom drove me down there to DC.
Grounded over to second base. Making the play to first is Willen, a quick 2 down.
And the rest is history. Here we are. Herstory, I guess I should say.
So true. Such a cool experience you've had collegiately. You were the Big East Player of the Year and a 4-time All-Big East honoree on the softball side. You played professionally for softball as well with the Kansas City Diamonds. And then now doing it, you're a true 2-sport athlete.
Yes, I would definitely give it its flowers. It's completely different, although there's a lot of similarities. I think now that I'm in it, I have to celebrate it as its own.
Ashton Lansdale also played collegiate softball and now here in the WPBL, captain for the Queens, an 0-1 count to her.
Lexi, you talked to me a little bit about kind of the differences that you've been really working on from softball to now baseball. What feels like has lately really clicked? Hitting your first home run and getting all those RBIs.
Ooh, good piece.
Lansdale on a line that hits the wall. She's going for 2 bases, and she dives in head first with the double.
Lansdale is always gonna take 2 if she can, always. Hard ball off the wall. She was not stopping as soon as she rounded first base. Slides into second safely. She waits on that ball on the inside part of the play, goes down and drives it. Line drive past Eccles. She throws it in. But Lansdale is thinking too, as soon as that ball comes off her bat every single time. And it's a double with 2 outs for the Queens and Ashton Lansdale. Now, Lexi, back to what you were saying.
Yeah, I think it's just those little cues. I missed the first week of training here at the WPBL because I was finishing up my pro season and was also in an Olympic qualifier during that week. So I really had to make that transition once I was in it. Had a couple days of practice and kind of went right to it. So I think the biggest thing is just trying to see the top half of the ball. I mean, it's a different angle out the hand. And really just taking each practice and each time I'm watching a game to kind of learn as I go. I mean, I only played 3 baseball games prior to this, so I'm learning as I go as well, but just taking some of that prior knowledge, my competitiveness, the way I'm able to see the game, and really putting in the extra works, because that's what works well for me to really feel confident going into the games and being able to make that adjustment.
Have you talked to any of your fellow WPBL athletes? Because, you know, many, if not most, have also played softball and have softball backgrounds.
Yes, for sure. I think a big one is actually Sarah Edwards with the Queens tonight. We've chatted a lot about what that transition was like for her. You know, her first kind of baseball debut.
And a single out to left, but it'll bounce off of Eccles. Lansdale comes in to score. McKay standing on second base. The Queens showing some life.
Jamie McKay, you saw her signaling, putting the crown on for the Queens as she scoots over to second base. So this ball, she goes down and gets it. She catches it on its break. And the hop for Eccles. Eccles was expecting the hop to pop up, and it instead popped back. And because of that, it got behind her. The only way to kind of play those balls right there is to try to get your body in front of them, because you can't control what the hop is going to do. So you want to get your body in front in order to stop in case those things happen. But it was a lucky break for the Queens. Another run comes in, and we have another runner on scoring position.
Now Shimano steps in. Brought in that first run for the Queens with the sac fly back in the first. Seen a lot of speed on the base pass, including yours, Lexi, too. That has been fun to watch in the WPBL.
Thank you. I'm hoping, or I will, you'll see me a lot more on base, and I'll be able to really help change the game and dynamics with the Boston Hunters.
Or you can keep hitting home runs and just trot. You know, that works.
That works, too. Whatever the
You
team
almost
needs.
had another one the other night. You got a good piece on it.
Yeah, and then Ashton fell into the fence and caught it, but
Hate when that happens.
And a balk there for O'Sullivan puts McKay at third. Looked like O'Sullivan might have flinched her front leg on that one as it was called. And a 2-1 count to Shimano here. Shimano high in the air to the green, ranging over in the sliding catch from Narasaki, and that will do it. Another one for the Queens. They're down by 6, heading to the bottom of the third.
It's a beautiful day for beautiful plays. Out outfield plays, that is, as Suzu Narasaki, who's coming up to the plate, made an amazing catch in the outfield. As she's running back, you see she calls off Eccles. The way in which she's able to track this ball, she goes back, she sees that it's spinning over. She moves her body, and then she slides for the extra effect, getting that stop to make sure she has enough room, because when you're focused on trying to catch the ball, you kind of lose sight of the fence. So people may say she didn't need to slide, but she did that to protect herself as she was focused on making the play. She ran a long way, made it look easy, and made a great catch for the last out in the inning.
Heights have put an exclamation point to get out of an inning on a couple of times defensively. And Willen goes opposite way into the gap. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. She's going for two, and it'll be the lead-off double for the Heights. And Willen standing on second. Where there's a Willen, there's a way.
I like that, Jenna. That ball's down, she stays on it, extends through it, and Rose, she kind of takes this short angle to the ball, and because of that, the ball skips a little fast in the outfield. So taking that short angle means it's gonna skip quite quickly past you, so she has to run all the way to the fence, allowing Willen to scoot over to second base for a double to start the inning.
Willen in scoring position now for Suzu Narasaki. Just made a fantastic play. Now in the box, laying down the bunt. Sato takes it, takes a look at third, but will get the out at first, and the sacrifice in the books.
She did a really good job staying in the box, going down for that pitch.
Yeah, she had to move her feet. She was trying to go with the movement of the ball, but determined to get it on the outside, or we talk about the end of the barrel to try to deaden the ball when you're trying to lay down the bunt. She moved her body as well as her bat to do so and executes perfection.
That 8-7 win the Heights had over the Queens in extras. The last time they faced each other, they laid down 2 sacrifices. So some fundamental baseball at play, and it helped them get the win in the end. What are your thoughts on small ball? What's your approach typically, Lexi?
Oh, she loves it.
You too, AJ. You know, I built a lot of my career on being a 3-tool person at the plate, so I'm all for it. You know, would love to bring slapping back into the game, but first got to find barrel to the ball. So you'll see it soon. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a really good tool to have, and I think that's what makes women's baseball and so exciting to watch. It's going to be the long ball, but also putting pressure on the defense.
In softball, it's called the triple threat. That's what Lexi is. She can lay down the bunt. She can do what is called a slap, which is running through the box. And that's where those individuals that are really good at placing the ball, you can place it either in the infield or find a hole to poke it through. But then also, as you all know and have seen, she can also hit it over the fence. 3-tool, triple threat, Lexi Hastings.
A 1-2 count to Yonatani here, back to the top of the order. Solid AB as she keeps fouling off pitches from Sato. Lexi, when it comes to training, you know, practice, prep, those types of things, what has that process been like for the Hunters so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it the other day. I think training to dominate. So when we get into those high pressure moments, you know, practicing hard to make the game feel easy.
Yonatani made that base hit look easy. It sneaks into left field and brings in another one.
Right under the glove of Shimano. See her hovering, turns on this pitch on the outside part of the plate, outside. Is able to pull it. Shimano runs out of room. And it's another run for the Heights.
Man, I'm loving these walk-up songs. I don't know how you do it. I'm like up here dancing, moving my feet.
You're grooving. What's yours and why? Let's play it first. Back to you, Lexi.
So I went with My House by Beyonce. Kind of wanted a different feel. I felt like it kind of matched the vibe of Springfield, what I was kind of flavor I was bringing.
Foul territory. Edwards going back for it. She makes the grab.
But I think just across the league, I mean, I've had a fun time out in the outfield just dancing to all the walk-up songs. But
well, you're on the call right now with the Beyonce of softball, AJ Andrews, as well. So she appreciates your
Love that. Love that. You felt like Beyonce really embodied Springfield, Lexi?
you could say that. What I wanted to bring to Springfield, the vibe that,
Love that.
the Hunters were coming with. We can make it our house, you know?
Exactly.
We're all
We
sharing
can
this
bring
home field.
Beyonce energy to Springfield.
That's right.
Love that. London Studer. Quick 0-2 count. She's been productive. A pair of singles last time brought in a couple of RBIs with it. Studer and Lawners responsible for the majority of the runs coming across in the 3-4 spots. On the ground right side, Benitez over to first. That'll do it, but yet another one across from the Heights. A 7-run lead over the Queens heading to the 4th. Well, things get really fun here at Robin Roberts Stadium. You got Maybelle Blair, the mascot, here with the WPBL, a hot dog eating contest. I mean, what more do you want here in Springfield, Illinois? And I can tell you, because we're thrilled to have Lexi Hastings here in the booth with us today, alongside myself, Jenna Becerra, and AJ Andrews down on the field. How is it so far for you?
I'm having the time of my life, honestly. I think growing up, I always told my mom I was going to be on TV, and people were like, I could totally see you doing like sideline reporting, broadcast. So I'm here to learn. I've had a great time.
It's been great to have you, and it's been great to watch you actually between the lines as well. Not just doing what you do defensively, but also offensively. Your home run from the left side. How did this feel off the bat? Because it was so fun to watch you show that opposite field power.
Yeah, I mean, coming into that at bat, I knew the pitch I was looking for. I was just trying to stay through it. And yeah, I mean, always
simple.
feels good.
What was the pitch you were looking for?
Something over the plate I could do damage with.
I think Villarreal had a similar approach right here as she sees what she likes, goes after it for a leadoff base hit. We've obviously seen some home runs today. There is a home run race. You're now on the board when it comes to the long balls too. How has it been just from the player perspective, watching Danae and Kelsey, but then others kind of join as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what keeps this game exciting. I think helps, you know, elevate the game. You know, year one, set the standard of, you know, we get to set the records out the gate. So it's been fun to watch. And, you know, I respect Danae and Kelsey as players. And, you know, obviously coming off the World Cup qualifiers, you know, banana ball, things like that. It's really cool to just see what they're bringing to the game right now. But obviously, when we compete against them, we're trying to bring our best. So just as they are. You
mentioned earlier that you played on the national team for the Virgin Islands as well. yourself getting some of that international experience. How does that kind of help you here in the WPBL when there's lots of players from different parts of the world?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the biggest thing is just for me and my experience coming from places that are building. I think that was salient from my college experience. That was salient to my time in Kansas City with the Diamonds, and then the Virgin Islands. You know, this summer we got to bring our first medal back to the island and qualify for the 2027 Olympic trials. So really bringing that experience here to the WPBL of going to the places that are building and that energy it takes, and just being able to play with people from across the world and different backgrounds and different resources, different environments. I mean, we played in the Dominican Republic, and it was the most fun I've ever had playing. Just that energy of the crowd, and that gets replicated a lot in the WPBL and different places I've been, so that's always exciting.
Yeah, I spent time at the World Baseball Classic, and it was hard to replicate the energy from the Dominican Republic and the Venezuelan teams and fans. Oh, the synergy was insane.
Yeah, there was one game we quite literally could not hear each other on the field down there.
They have all the instruments too?
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
Those are the moments you live for, to be in environments like that.
Love it.
So cool. Pretty fun environment here at Robin Roberts Stadium.
You know who's Dominican? Joelle. We got to get her to get in on some of those vibes, see what we can bring out.
Now meeting complete. Now Michelle Roche steps in, hit into a double play last time. Pitch in there for a strike. Runners on first and second with no outs. Speaking of energy, Lexi, talk to us about the energy that Jamiel Weeks brings to the Boston Hunters.
Yeah, so much respect for him as a manager, him as a person. Got to meet him a year ago at the tryouts, and just getting to learn from him, his knowledge, the belief that he's brought to us. And
Queens still with some belief right here as another base hit, this time for Roche, and the bases are loaded.
You know, I think, as mentioned earlier, just with our training, I mean, the obsession to the details, the ways that we can change the game with our feet, developing our identity as a team. I mean, all those things have been really fun. And just soaking up every minute of knowledge that he shares with us. So.
Mira Hondras now stepping up with no outs, bases loaded. When we had Jamiel here in the booth with us, we talked to him a lot about development. That's very important to him as a manager. You said a little bit to us earlier before we hopped on, you know, he's been very in tune with you, very on you when it comes to training.
Yeah, I mean.
That pitch gets away. Standing up to cross the plate. Villarreal comes in to score, and the Queens aren't done yet.
Yeah, you know, throughout the year, I reached out to him to talk, you know, baseball and get some kind of virtual tips leading up to season, especially on the base running side. And really was bummed initially when he wasn't with the Hunters, because I really wanted to get to learn from him, because I know he cares about that development. And I really wanted to, you know, get that aspect of the game. So was so excited when we got the call that he was coming over to us.
The 3-1 count here to Hondras.
The Hunters have been on quite an upward trajectory. How would you describe the energy going on right now between Boston and the clubhouse and when you guys step on the field?
Yeah, I think it's just peaking at the right time. You know, we feel the belief from the top down, and, you know, with each other as well, and just every day grinding through it and peaking at the right time and getting better every day.
She called Sarah Edwards out, it looks like, at third.
Yeah, pickoff over there at third base. So Benitez keeping her head on a swivel. And the tag from Kira Izumi, who's over at third base now defensively, and an important first out for the Heights. That's into right center. Going back for it. What a catch from Yonatani.
My gosh.
Slides into the wall. Wow.
Okay, Heights outfielders.
I mean, as a base runner, that's a really hard ball to read. Do you play it aggressive for a catch like that, or do you try to move it over to third?
On a play like that, I feel like you have to stay because you know even if she does catch it, you're able to get to the next base. But here on this ball for Yonatani, she's tracking it a long way. What she does a really good job at is reaching for the ball at the latest moment possible. So what you don't want to do is try to reach the ball out of the air. You want to let it get to almost its lowest point. So she keeps running and lets the ball kind of fall into her glove as she's running instead of trying to stop to make the catch. Amazing play over in right field, and it keeps the runners in place at first and second for the Queens. But yeah, that is a difficult decision to make though, Lexi, because if you're at second, I imagine you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna make it all the way home on this ball.
For sure.
The pickoff at third, a fantastic catch by the right fielder. One has come across for the Queens.
Which kind of makes that out sting a little bit more over at third with Sarah Edwards, as she would have definitely been able to tag.
And a strikeout right there from O'Sullivan. So one more makes it a 6-run ball game. Heights over the Queens.
Los Angeles Queens. The Queens honor Lizzie Murphy, the legendary queen of the diamond. She broke barriers for women in professional baseball when opportunities were extremely limited. Her confidence, ambition, and trailblazing career embody the spirit of Los Angeles. A city, like this team, built on influence, style, and the drive to reach the top. The Los Angeles Queens. New York Heights are inspired by Dorothy Height, one of the most influential leaders of the civil and women's rights movements. Her lifelong commitment to equality, leadership, and progress reflects the team determined to rise above expectations and take the game of baseball to new heights. The New York Heights.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Heights with the 6-run advantage over the Queens, and a new left fielder, Jamie McKay, coming onto the green to help the Queens out defensively. Started off as the DH, and Ayami Sato, the starter, still on the mound for the Queens. It is the heart of the order due up. Kylie Lawners leading off. Already the 2-run home run and the 2 RBI single tonight. Lexi Hastings with us here in the booth. And Lexi, you mentioned wanting to bring the Beyonce vibes to Springfield. How has Springfield been since you've been here all season?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I haven't had much time to explore. The beginning half of the season, I was back and forth between Kansas City, finishing up my season there. But I have been able to do a few things. I went to the rodeo with some of my teammates a couple weeks ago. It was my first one. It was a blast. We were sitting there the entire time. Ooh, good grab.
Fair territory down the third baseline, on the run, Lansdale. Slick play in the hot corner.
We didn't really know what to expect, so kind of anytime the baby cattle were getting away, we were like, run, run, run. Not understanding the objective there. But we also went to the batting cages, got some rage swings in and out, I guess, just to be loose and have fun. So that was a lot of fun. And just any downtime we have, really spending time with each other. I'm actually good friends with a couple of the Queens players, and they've been just really encouraging throughout this experience, just talking to them about the transition. A lot of them have maybe done the transition before, or from softball to baseball, or will be moving into that. So just kind of having those conversations. So just really grateful for those folks too. So shout out them.
Kira Izumi in the box. She came in for Zettelmoyer over at third base, her first AB of the night.
What's been the biggest adjustment for you in the outfield? Like, see, we talked a little bit about the lights and them being low and kind of how the outfielders have to work around them. What are some other things that you've been really trying to make sure you get settled with?
Yeah, something that I was just working on today at practice was just different angles. You know, in softball, physics tells us the ball goes up at its highest peak. That's where it's going to land. So I brought that to baseball. And you see a lot of first steps from me. You won't anymore, but first steps in. But in baseball, the ball travels not when it's at its peak. It keeps going. So really just getting some of those reads from, you know, ball high in the air, like this one, we're going in, but Ashton's going back. But other than that, I mean, I love the range and space I have out there to run. So it's been fun to be able to track down some of those balls that, you know, may hit the wall on a 225 field.
2-2 count to Izumi. On the ground again, just foul, third base line. Jada Lee over there protecting Claire Eccles as she gets loose in the pen.
Another thing that I will say, too, that has been interesting to me is a straight-up position in the outfield. So we see Jamie kind of taking a few steps towards the line here, just based off of the foul balls. But some of those balls down the line where you would maybe slide or be able to get some in foul territory, you're definitely covering a lot more space. So.
And McKay picking this one up after the base hit from Izumi. Solid AB to get a single in her first at-bat tonight.
Izumi able to turn on this ball, and Lansdale, you saw her get in the position, try to catch it, but it takes a hop a little bit later than she assumed or that she imagined, and it got right by her glove for a single for Izumi at first.
1 on, 1 out now for Emmy Psyche. One thing about Robin Roberts Stadium that we've talked about is the turtleback field here, how it dips a little bit at the edge of the infield going into the outfield. Have you noticed on relays or anything coming from the outfield, any sort of adjustments there?
I think probably just reading it off the bat as far as, like, you know, if you're in your pre-step, you know, staying low just to give that yourself that extra second to read the ball flight, because you are kind of at a downward slope, but apparently this is one of the few left in the country, so
That's
I've
right.
learned.
Yep. Unique experience. Pick at first. The attempt not in time for Izumi. Getting back safe. Robin Roberts has been hosting baseball for almost 100 years, too. That's in the dirt, and a good read from Izumi, taking second base.
Heights doing what the Heights do. They lead the league in stolen bases.
At 30 coming into today. Line drive just over Sarah Edwards at first base into right field. Izumi being waved around. She will zoom into home, standing up. An RBI single once again for Psyche. Back-to-back ABs, 3 singles on the night.
Yeah, that ball, she turns on it, and it just misses Sarah Edwards' glove. She got a piece on it, and because she did, it slows the ball down. And with it being slow, getting to right field as Roche gets to the ball, Izumi's already taking off. If she hadn't got a glove on it, it probably would have sped there, and Izumi would have had to stay at third.
It looks like that's going to do it for Ayami Sato, the starter for the Queens. It's a new era call to the bullpen. Jamie McKay on the mound, coming in from left field. We saw her come in for Villarreal, and she'll get loose while we step aside and be back in a moment. The moon is out here at Robin Roberts Stadium. We've seen a couple of moon shots here tonight, and there is a change on the mound for the Queens. We saw Jamie McKay come in. She said, just kidding. I'm going to go back out to the outfield, and Amira Hondras instead is on the mound, making her pitching debut here in the WPBL.
Yeah, I talked about it earlier, how she was throwing in the bullpen during BP today. And manager EY said Amira came to him and said, I can throw. And then when he got the backup from Meggie saying, yes, she can, I've seen her, he felt confident in Amira being able to come in and get the job done. We said it, Amira said, put me anywhere, I can do it, I'm ready to execute. We see her at second, we've seen her in the outfield, and now we've seen her on the bump.
She is really one of those players that truly just impresses me and inspires me. I actually got to play a tournament with her back in November, and I'm pretty sure she's one of the youngest ones in the league. Got a call to come up and play, and she has just been doing her thing, and I really consider her a good friend of mine, so I'm just super excited and happy for her.
18 years old. Got the start in center field today, now on the mound, and Monet Davis out in center field defensively. Hondras, an Illinois native, coming in for the starter in Ayami Sato. Was just over 3 innings under her belt here in her 3rd straight start against the Heights. And double-digit runs been put up to this point. Davis, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania native. 10th overall draft pick out there in center field. Set the record. Strikeouts thrown by a girl in the Little League World Series. That was tied this year by Kinley Rasmus. I know a lot of the WPBL players have been excited to see her represent as a girl playing with the boys.
Absolutely. I remember sending a text to Monet and just being like, it's crazy us to be in the position we are now, our league of our own, seeing and witnessing what's happening. It's so cool.
The goal, the exciting thing is when it's no longer something new to see a girl in the Little League World Series, but rather the expectation. And then when she excels, it's just assumed that that is what the greatness will be.
Hit well off the bat of Eccles. That is into the outfield, left center. And the first one to see Hondras. Eccles gets the base hit. 3 straight singles for the Heights.
Heights not letting up.
And they can't, right? That's what they have talked about. You know, they started strong in early games this season and then towards the end ran out of gas. Keeping the foot on the gas has been something they've been working toward in this part of the season.
Lexi, talk to us a little bit about creating those new identities or trying to continuously evolve as the season goes on. The Heights are doing it. The Hunters have been doing it. What does that mentality look like, the shift?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes through just like the everyday. You know, we had a team meeting the other day, and we want to be gritty. We want to impact the game by doing the little things right with our feet, moving runners, putting people in scoring position, getting runs in without really even having to put the ball in. Got to watch our games to know what we're talking about. But yeah, just being a really gritty team that has a lot of tenacity and has a mentality to dominate. I also think something for me as a player, and I think a lot of my teammates can relate on this, we're really fun to watch. I mean, we have a good time. We're silly. We're goofy. That's when I'm playing my best. There's a lot of us that share in that as well. So regardless, we're going to play loose and have fun. So
Willen stays loose there and gets her second hit of the evening. Tripping over at third base was Psyche.
Willen turns on this ball on the inside part of the plate. Ashton Lansdale gets up, showing that vertical, but not high enough as it bleeds into left field. Bases are now juiced for the Heights.
That's now 4 straight singles for New York. Suzu Narasaki, she's 1 for 1, had the single, scored a run in the second, laid down the sacrifice bunt in the third. Big cut. Andrus now with a 2-1 count. A shot out to center. Davis on the knees, but it'll get past her. Couple of runs coming across here for the Heights. And the RBI double adds a couple more to the tally for New York.
Narasaki gets a good bat on this ball, and that's a really tough play to make in the outfield because as you want to run in to make the catch, at times you realize maybe a little bit too late that you don't have enough time in order to dive the ball that's falling a little bit sooner. But because of the spin and because it's on a line, it feels like as soon as it drops, it's going to bounce behind you. So you try to make that catch. Monet goes down her knees to do so, but it gets under her glove and rolls all the way to the fence. And Narasaki makes her way to second base, well in the third.
12-3, New York over LA, and it's back to the top of the order. Lexi, what do you do mentally as a team when you're trying to just keep passing the bat the way the Heights are right now?
I think it's just sticking to your process, you know, having a game plan, trying to put as much pressure on the defense as you can. Really trusting the person behind you as well. And something we talk about, actually, I don't know if I should say this on air, being that we play a lot of these teams, but, you know, just finding ways to get yourself into scoring position without necessarily getting more people up to the plate.
Finding a way to make the play right there. Ashton Lansdale from the knees.
makes the catch on her knees. She throws over to first on her knees. Great defensive play over at third base by Ashton Lansdale.
And Danae Benitez, she's 0 for 2 today, was hit by a pitch and scored back in the second. Getting some inside baseball from Lexi Hastings while she's with us in the booth.
Can't share all the secrets. It's a good productive out there.
Over to Hondras, throw over to first. That'll do it. Another crooked number for the Heights. They have a 10-run lead over the Queens. Well, the fans have spoken. We love the WPBL. We love to see it, and just fans of women's baseball. And WPBL fans, you can get your official Women's Pro Baseball League gear. Choose from your favorite teams and players. Go to shop.womensprobaseball.com. So many options, shirts, hats, all the good stuff that you're looking for the league and for your favorite teams. It's a party in the USA here at Robin Roberts Stadium.
We bring the Beyonce vibes and the Miley Cyrus vibes, y'all.
We just bring fun. I think that's the bottom line. Ashton Lansdale due up first here, and she'll be going up against a new pitcher on the mound for the Heights. It's a new era call to the bullpen. Claire Eccles, we saw her warming up in the bullpen. Now she makes her way onto the mound. Getting a little fist bump from Kira Izumi in the process. Seen Eccles in the box, seen her on the field. 28-year-old from British Columbia, Canada. The 18th pick in the second round. She's been a trailblazer in Canadian baseball. First pitch swinging, Ashton Lansdale. Third hit of the night. Pair of singles to go with her double last time up.
Last time against the Heights, she had 2 home runs. Now she's putting the ball in play, making sure she continues that streak, getting on base.
Lansdale now hitting safely in 9 of the last 11 games for the Queens. She passes the bat to Jamie McKay. RBI single back in the third. Swings through that strike. Pick attempt at first. Lansdale back in safely. Captain on captain, keeping a close eye. Speaking of which, how's the leadership been with the Hunters, would you say, Lexi, as Lansdale dives head first? Absolute thievery from the captain right there. 6th stolen base of the year.
Ashton getting a great jump, head down, as she speeds her way over to second base. She is 2nd in the league in stolen bases here in the WPBL.
Only behind Danae Benitez, who she just stole on.
I told you, every time Ashton gets on base, she's looking to, whether it's from a hit or a stolen base, she's getting to that second base.
And as we're talking about the captains, back to my question, Lexi, how's it been having Allie Schroeder lead the way for you guys with the Hunters, but then also, you know, how does leadership look beyond just the captain?
Yeah, I mean, I've had such a great time learning from Allie. You know, so much respect to her and what she's been able to do throughout her career. But her as a captain is, you know, I think her leadership style is someone that puts a lot of trust in the people around her. I think she leads by example really well, so that's really admirable about her. And
Jamie McKay, a tower out to left, but not quite enough. Catch is made and allowed out from the Queens. London Studer making the grab.
The Heights are covering ground, so much ground. I for sure thought this was going to be a hit for McKay, but Studer comes out of nowhere, continues the outfield prowess that the Heights have, making another great catch on the run for the Heights.
I think something else, you know, about Allie is she really takes the time to get to know the people around her and adapting the approach that is best with that person and being able to connect with them. So it's been great, and I think just overall the leadership from our managers as well. And I'm inspired every time I step on the field, and I'm just so grateful to learn from them.
It's a really big compliment, especially at this level.
I mean, I think it's a huge compliment to our managers as well, that when you do get to the professional level that you are still learning, and that, you know, it's not just you're here because you've reached your peak performance. I think some of the best and greatest athletes are those that continue to be students of the game, partly why I really wanted to be coached by Coach Weeks. So
Always be learning. Shimano with the 1-1. Pretty pitch there from Eccles.
We talked a lot about what you've learned physically in the transition, the adjustments you've had to make in the WPBL, but what are some things you've had to learn mentally that maybe you didn't have in your arsenal before?
I think first it was really the reminder to myself that, like, I can bet on myself, and I have the tools to do what I need to do to be the best at making adjustments. And, you know, my competitiveness is going to get me to where I need to be for my team. So I think that was the reminder of, like, even though this is a new sport, I do have high level experience in being able to, like, make those transitions between the two. And, you know, I think just mentally it's as small as just, like, my approach at the plate.
Hey, yo, fireworks in the middle of the game here in the WPBL.
Thought we were about to see some fireworks with a pick attempt from Eccles, but instead, literal fireworks out there in right field. Lansdale was taken off there as that pitch is fouled.
That was so random, that one firework.
I think something too with just our game where some people say fail more than you succeed, you know, that 300 batting average, that really is 3 out of 10 times, but it doesn't account for all the little things, you know, moving runners, sac flies, things like that. So really, can you have delayed gratification when it comes to working through the process. And that was big for me. So I really, have taken that and will continue to take that through my professional career.
Payoff pitch misses, and Shimano will earn the walk. Runners now on first and second for the Queens with 1 out.
Does manager Jamal Weeks have a motto for you guys, or saying that he has repeated multiple times throughout these games?
Good question. If he's watching and there is one, my apologies if it's not coming to my brain right now. Because he says so many good nuggets that, it's all just so good.
See, that was a good save. That was good.
There's too many to count, Jamal. That's what it is.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Monet Davis came in to play center field defensively. Now in the box. Davis hitting just above the Mendoza line so far this season. And a big cut there. First and second, 1 out. And a called strike 3. Eccles, her first strikeout of the day, and a big second out for the Heights.
Eccles able to drop that ball in the inside part of the plate. A little bit of an off speed, threw Monet Davis off and brings her up for the 3rd strike.
Different look from the left side. Eccles has been, and it's lefty on lefty here as the first pitch in for a strike to Sarah Edwards.
Different look from the left side, and also Eccles keeps the ball a little bit higher than O'Sullivan did. You saw O'Sullivan really work down in the zone, and Eccles works a little bit more up.
Up and in, right on cue.
Called it.
What's the lefty on lefty situation like from your point of view, Lexi?
Honestly, I don't mind hitting off of a lefty. I think it's pretty true to where it's going out the hand. At least for me, I'm able to pick it up. Just it feels more lateral, like side to side, east west on the plate. So.
2-1 here to Edwards. Walked a couple times so far. And another one. 3rd walk of the day for Sarah Edwards. She's on board once again. Bases loaded here with 2 outs. And Michelle Roche strides to the plate.
The vibe for this Queens team all season has been a 2 out, so what? We've seen multiple runs being scored with 2 outs.
Slow roller over to third. Izumi to first, and that does it. Scoreless inning of work for Eccles, and it's still 12-3 New York over LA. Well, if you made it out to the ballpark tonight, you might have been part of the lucky group of fans getting the New York Heights scarf in the giveaway here at Robin Roberts Stadium. And there are plenty of reasons to keep getting out to the ballpark here in Springfield this weekend. The Allie Schroeder bobblehead, it'll be given to the first 250 fans tomorrow on Friday. And then don't forget on Saturday as well, Hyuna Kim, the bobblehead for the first 250 fans will be given out for her too. Little hunter's love here as we have Lexi Hastings in the booth with us.
I want both of those bobbleheads.
Same.
Not the scarf.
Fair enough. Three, 4, 5 due up here for the Heights, starting with London Studer. First pitch swinging into center, falls for a base hit. A trio of singles for Studer tonight. Stay hot.
Yeah, we saw Studer look on the inside part of the plate and pull things to the right side, but this time she sits and waits for a ball down the middle, low in the zone, and is able to go down, get it, extend through it to drive it to center field for her third single of the day.
Her consistency has put her in that 3 spot here for the Heights. 19th overall draft pick, and now it's Claire O'Sullivan on the offensive side. She's had some success. She was 2 for 4 last time against the Queens with a couple of RBIs in key moments. Quick 3-0 here to O'Sullivan as she stays patient going up against Hondras. Came in to relieve Sato. Finds his zone there. Hard into the glove of Lansdale. Over to first to double her off. The hot corner coming up big in the moment, and it's 2 away for the Queens.
What a play by Ashton Lansdale. Bang, bang. Quick reaction over there at third, able to grab that out of the air, send it over to first to catch Studer. We got a double play on her hands. She goes low, down, and get it quickly, able to recover, going over to first base to get that out.
As a former hot corner, you love to see it.
The Queens, they are top 3 for double plays. They have the top 3 players in double plays over here in the league.
Already turned 6. There's another one to the tally. And a foul ball too. Get a take home. Soft on the ground, Lansdale, time to cut it off. Over to first, and she'll handle all of the duties on defense. Huge thank you to Lexi Hastings for joining us. And New York atop of LA, 12-3. Tonight's Capelli Sport Plays of the game goes to the New York defense. Benitez leading the league in caught stealing behind the dish and on the slide, making some fantastic catches. That was Narasaki, and doing it into the wall. Yonatani has been holding it down in right field all season long, and the Heights have had the defense when they needed it most.
The Heights have flashed a lot of leather tonight here at Robin Roberts Stadium. I've said it once and I'll say it a million times. Offense sells tickets, but defense wins games.
It sure does, and someone who's leading in wins on the mound. It's a new era call to the bullpen with Jada Lee. She's embraced that closing role. Brings some of that increased velocity. Had 6 strikeouts last time out, throwing over 3 innings to close it out. Andres gets a piece.
I talked to Jada Lee earlier today before the game started and asked her what her mentality is, and she says, I just don't think. I like to go out and throw. My goal is to mix my pitches really well, like that.
Inside corner there, went right after her. Another strikeout. That's number 20 on the season, still leads the league.
She talked about how the mix between her curveball and her fastball is really successful and able to throw batters off balance. Talked about how Lee has some of the highest velocity here in the WPBL. So the mixture of those speeds, she's able to get a lot of outs. As you said, Jenna, 20 strikeouts so far this season.
Keeps racking them up, and now going up against the number 9 hitter in Maggie Fox. She's flown out twice. Lee closed out that extra inning victory with 3 2/3 innings, just 1 hit allowed, no earned runs with those 6 strikeouts. Also, no walks. The control and command was on point. Right back up the middle where it came from. Fox showing some life for the Queens in her first hit of the night.
The thing about having a pitcher that has such the velocity the way that Jada Lee does is you just have to put bat to ball. If you can put the bat on the ball, good things will happen because she provides the velocity, she provides the power off the bat. So Maggie Fox able to drive that ball up the middle, get something started for the Queens with 1 out here in the 6th.
First pitch swinging through the 3-4 hole this time. Benitez goes opposite way. Back-to-back singles for the Queens. And the top of the order keeps it rolling.
Keep it rolling, not trying to do too much. With a 9-run deficit, the goal is to get as many runners on base as possible and to move them over. We're going pitch by pitch, batter by batter, trying to get a job done. And there's nobody that's gotten the job done better tonight than Ashton Lansdale. 3 for 3.
Was hitless yesterday, did walk, get hit by a pitch and score a run. Comes right back at it. Couple of singles and the double, of course. The 1-0. This is where Ashton Lansdale does some damage. The TrackMan data. She can go a little around the zones, got that plate coverage. Anything over the white, she makes you pay. There's a strike as a throw down to second. Willing comes over to cover, but Fox dives back in safely.
We talked about that heat map a little bit with Ashton Lansdale, being able to really execute on the pitches, the good pitches, the ones that are down the middle, the ones that are in the zone. That's what makes her so successful. She doesn't swing too much out of the zone. She stays in herself and stays within her plan.
Good take right there. And still, of course, the number 7 overall pick in the draft. 25 years old, from Marietta, Georgia. Brings the energy. Gets a piece there, straight back. Two on, one out with the full count. Queens have already racked up more hits against Jada Lee than they did in almost 4 innings of work last time they played. Another piece.
She did a really good job waiting on that pitch. You can see her make the adjustment mid-pitch to build that energy, load her energy more in her back leg to sit on it in order to swing.
Do the payoff again. Pretty pitch on the inside corner. Lee wins the battle. Second backwards K of the inning.
Lee doing what she said she sets out to do, doing a good job of mixing her pitches. That's that curveball that she likes to mix between curveball and fastball. Because she threw a curveball prior, I'm pretty sure Ashton Lansdale was expecting the fastball to come next and got her looking as that curveball made its way over the plate.
21st strikeout on the season. Now it's Jamie McKay with 2 on and 2 outs. Had that RBI single in the third. She's 1 for 3 on the night. Lee still bringing the heat. Up the middle, backhanded by Willen. She'll get the force out at second. Defense continues for the Heights, and Lee keeps it scoreless. 12-3, New York over LA.
Thank you so much for your support of the inaugural WPBL Baseball League.
A commanding lead for New York over the Queens. They have 9 runs on top. And let's take a look at our game summary presented by Visit Springfield. Yonatani, of course, set the tone, led off with the solo shot to get the Heights on the board first. And the Heights go on to score 12 more runs total through the first 4 innings. The home run, 2-run shot from Lawners. Everyone's been getting in on the party. Emmy Psyche leading things off. Psyche 3 singles on the night, couple of RBIs as well. Safe to say she's been a productive pickup in the trade, as that's going to split the gap on the right side and fall into right center. make it 4 singles on the evening for Psyche.
4 for 4 night for Misaki, how she does. I love when they do the first base celebration, the Lady Liberty over there. She's just been such a consistent bat for the Heights. As you said, Jenna, a great shade, a great addition to this New York lineup.
Now it's Jada Lee. Came in for Eccles, of course, on the mound. She's hitting in that 7 spot. Lee trying to get it going offensively. We've seen her do it on the mound, that's for sure. Big cut through that strike. Lee's 1 for 11. Start things off here in the WPBL. A couple of RBIs, has scored a few runs. She takes another strike. Pick at first, not in time. Lee's also got some speed. Tied for second on the team with 3 stolen bases this year. 1-2. On a line over to short. Snagged quickly in the double play at first. No doubt about it. Shimano on top of it.
Another great double play for the LA Queens. This ball is hit sharply to the shortstop, Shimano, and she quickly, without hesitation, gets it and goes, almost as if she knew immediately that Psyche was going to be too far off the bag, throws to first base to get the double play.
Base is clear with 2 outs. And Willen steps in. Double and a single tonight. A little jam there as that's fouled off. Madison Willen out of Alberta, Canada. Been on the women's national team since 2017. Goes opposite way into right. A 3-hit night for Madison Willen.
There's multiple batters in this Heights lineup that have multiple hits this game. Really executing on the plan that they set forward when they step into the plate. They're doing a really good job of hitting the ball where it's pitched, not doing too much, just allowing that extension to get through the ball, to place the ball exactly where it's going.
Suzu Narasaki, one of those multi-hit performances already. 2 for 2, 2 RBI double. Single, a run scored, a sack she laid down. Been doing a little bit of everything. It's out of the way of that inside pitch. 8 of the 9 hitters in the starting lineup here for the Heights have registered a hit. Ironically, the only one who hasn't, Danae Benitez.
That just speaks to the power that is the lineup of the Heights 1 through 9. The person that is leading in almost every offensive category is not going to have a great night every single night. But the good thing is the Heights have the power all the way down the lineup to get the job done.
Hit hard over to short. Shimano gets the force at second. And she's Shimon it. That'll do it, and it's 12-3, 3 outs away for the Heights to get another win.
Let's see all those lights on. All right, here we go. We're gonna do a little warm up. Let's see how we're doing. To the left. To the right. To the left. All right, all right.
Rocky Henley and her squad are just 3 outs away from getting their 6th win of the season, and it would make a difference when it comes to the standings. The Firebells and the Queens already with 6 wins so far this season. The Heights trying to get there as well.
It has become such a close race here in the WPBL. A win tonight from the Heights, it makes it a 3-way tie between the Firebells, the Heights, and the Queens in the standings.
Shimano first pitch swinging, gets a piece. She took care of things on the defensive end in the bottom of the 6th. Now leading things off here in the top of the 7th. Sac fly RBI and a walk tonight. It's fouled off as Jada Lee already notched a couple of strikeouts so far. That was in her first inning of work back in the 6th. She's taken on that closing role for the Heights this year. Would love to do it again. Back-to-back appearances against the Queens, and there's another one. All 3 strikeouts tonight for Lee have been looking.
That pitch low in the zone. It gets Shimano looking. But that's just more, tip your hat a little bit more to Jada Lee because she does so well at mixing her pitches that even some pitches that may seem a little bit lower look like strikes.
And tip your cap to Benitez too on the frame job there, working for her pitcher. Davis now with the 1-1 count. Two-one pitch evens it up. Down and away. And Lee, having had some of that experience as a starter before, allows her to come in as the closer, but get a little more time under her belt, some more innings, more pitches. And Davis will go through the 5-6 hole here. Makes the adjustment for the base hit. One on, one out. Sarah Edwards. Edwards has walked 3 times. A high chop to the right side. Just into the glove of Willen. She finishes the play at first. Way to stick with it. Lee coming over to cover.
Yeah, Willen does a great job of being there. The perfect position as O'Sullivan goes over to try to get the ball. She misses it. But no fear, Willen is there to make the catch, and she tosses it over to Lee, who comes over to cover, and they get the 2nd out of the inning.
1 out away from back-to-back victories over the Queens for the Heights. Michelle Roche standing in Jada Lee's way. She's 1 for 3 tonight. To right center field. Yonatani chasing after it all the way to the wall. And Roche says the Queens are not done yet. The RBI double with 2 outs in the 7th.
2 outs, so what? Roche hits this ball a long way over in the right center gap. She extends on this ball on the outside part of the plate, gets good air on it as it rolls and makes its way all the way to the wall, giving Monet Davis enough time to round third base and make it safely to home.
The runner in scoring position now with 2 outs. Amira Hondras looking to help herself out. Her pitching debut in relief tonight of the starter Sato. She'll take a first pitch strike. Does have a single on the night. That was back in the second. Catches the corner there. Andres trying to take it 1 pitch at a time. Protecting with 2 strikes. Fouls it off again. Back at it with the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 4th K of the evening, and that does it. Jada, lean on me with a league-high 23 strikeouts now, and the 12-4 victory for the Heights over the Queens. Back-to-back victories for New York over LA. They now lead the overall series this season 2-1. Less dramatics in this one. No late inning comebacks, no extra innings, but the clutch hits for the Heights were definitely in play. The defense standing out for New York as well as they tip their caps to the fans. They improve to 6-5 on the season. The LA Queens now 6-6. A 3-way tie at the top with the Firebells, Queens, and Heights. Jada Lee continuing to throw the smoke in that closing role that she has embraced. And Rocky Henley's got to be happy with the performance overall. And on the offensive side, it was pure explosion. Tonight's Dick's Sporting Goods Player of the Game, setting the tone early on, Kylie Lawners. The 2-run home run in the first, just a few batters after Yonatani started with the solo shot. And a 2-hit performance. She also got the 2 RBI single in the second. Back-to-back innings of production for the DH. And she's down there on the field right now with AJ Andrews.
It is the player of the game, Kylie Lawners. Kylie, 2 for 3, a home run, 4 RBI. We've talked about it, how the mentality as a DH is a little bit different, and you really prepared differently in BP before the game. What was your preparation today that produced the performance you had on the field tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it all started in BP. I kind of slowed things down a little bit during BP, see the ball hit the bat. BP was great, which is always a cool sign, but never guaranteed for the game. And then stepped in the box and just was trying to keep things simple and hit the ball hard, and if it goes out, right on, and help the team out.
Well, right on, it definitely went out on that one pitch in that moment. And you saw the ball, it looked like you knew as soon as you hit the ball. What did it feel like, the ball coming off the bat?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the feeling was everything. I was hoping it was out, and it kept going, so that was good. But, yeah, the feeling was right away. It was a great feeling.
For the Heights, you guys have now, with this 6th win, have put yourself, it is a 3-way tie at the top between the Heights, the Queens, and the Firebells. Is that something you guys talked about, knowing that if you took the win today, that's the position you would be in?
I mean, a little bit. We kind of just, every single game, keep trying to push things forward, keep the momentum going. Try not to worry about all the wins and losses, but just keep the same mojo going and play hard, and things are going to work out.
The song that's playing right now, New York. What is the New York state of mind as we have the Tims being presented? This is New York for you when it comes to the Heights. As you continue the momentum, it's been a conversation for the Heights, wanting to not just come out on the first couple innings, but also finish in the end. The involvement of this team and the way you've been able to produce that this later half of this game or later half of this season. Talk to me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. We've grown so much since game one. We're finishing games now, and I think just as a team, we're staying really tight, and we're doing it for the Tims.
All for the Tims in New York. It's the Heights player of the game, Kylie Lawners. Congratulations.
Thank you.
A New York state of mind, and Act 3 between Hollywood and Broadway. The advantage goes to New York, the 12-4 victory over LA. What a performance as the Heights continue to improve. And for AJ Andrews and our entire crew, I'm Jenna Becerra, and it has been a fun one in Springfield. We'll be back tomorrow for some more women's baseball. But in the meantime, so long. See you tomorrow.